This is for members only. And I'm proud to say that I come straight from the block. I'm from a place where if you're not blessed to eat with a fork, you just gotta connive your way to the top.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You ain't nothing but a...
Welcome to another edition of The Buck Stops Here. I am your host, Hound Dog Buck 50, one of the illest, if not the illest battle rapper in the game, here to bring you the latest in battle rap news. Now today, we're going to recap a matchup that was a long time in the making. New Jersey Twork against the upcoming Lion, the Mighty Swamp. Now, for everybody in the battle rap community, we know this was a battle that was supposed to happen for a while, but our guy Twork was supposed to battle at least 7 months ago, but Twork pulled out, or he just wasn't ready. More than likely, he wasn't ready. So, and they were supposed to battle again last week on Caffeine. A lot of people were ready for that, only for the battle not to happen. Now, everybody's familiar with Swamp. Swamp really made a name for himself against Your Honor in a PG that he had last year. And everything just, his buzz came from that. And then, he was talking his shit. He was calling out T-Top. He was arguing on the phone with Briz. And then he was calling out Tay-Rock. So, Swamp, he's earned this spot. People can say what they want about Swamp, but we can all learn something from Swamp, unless you're already in a better place than Swamp. But I look at it like this: you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Sometimes it's cool to say, you know what, I'm not gonna ruffle no feathers, but it ain't cool when you realize your career can't get to the next level. And Swamp said, fuck that, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. And I respect the young man for that, because he's gotten more than a lot of battle rappers that have been here way longer than him. I never seen Young Cannon get a shot at Twork or possibly T-Top. Am I lying? It is what it is. So, I won't lie, when we look at the matchup, I was kind of low-key kind of shitting on, Swamp, because I felt like I really didn't see much from him other than the, impressive-wise, other than the battle with Your Honor. Bad News didn't really shake me up too much. His other battle against Ace Amin didn't shake me up too much. I was actually there when he battled my boy Don. I thought that was very debatable to me, but I didn't see nothing special. But nevertheless, the night before the Twork battle, I said, let me go back to the Swamp. I just watched the first round against Your Honor to get refreshed, and I'm like, okay, Swamp, I can see why, with a performance like this, why you got the people on your side. Now Twork. Now, if you had asked me who I thought would win out of Twork and Swamp, and actually, before I even get into that, I mean, Twork. Listen to me. Swamp right now, he's headed into the blunt of the schedule right now. Swamp is like, when you watch football and that team, they jump out the gates 4-0, 5-0, but it's like, who is this team? And then they show their schedule over the next 4 weeks, and it's like, they got New Orleans, then they got New England, then they got a Monday night game at Kansas City, and they got San Francisco Thursday night. You're like, oh snap, we about to see if they for real or not. And he getting into the big boys now. Twork, T-Top. He's already got T-Top for Rookies Vets, and him and Tay-Rock was supposed to go down already, so it's only a matter of time before that happens. So out of all those guys, I thought to myself, I don't think he can beat Twork. But then I realized Twork's work ethic is real crappy. Twork doesn't prepare. I mean, this is a guy who pretty much writes his rhymes on the way to the battle. So you figure. Now, Twork is the star URL, and you are a star battle rap, period. We can't deny that. And let's face it, well, I'm not going to sit here and huff and puff about why Smack puts up with him. We know why he puts up with him. He's the breadwinner. So I'm not going to blow my top over that. It is what it is. We as the fans would like a better product, but it is what it is, man. But nevertheless, Twork was really calling out Swamp. He said Swamp is sorry, Swamp ain't talented, he just don't like Swamp. Me personally, I feel like a lot of those guys low-key, it just feels like to me like a prejudice thing because he's from the South and he's kicking up dust. Because even when they was arguing and on the little chat thing with him, T-Top and Tay-Rock, I mean, I can't really fault them for talking shit because Swamp was talking shit to them. But the country thing, they was really killing it. And, me being a Jersey boy but living in Florida for a while, it definitely made me feel some type of way. Because let's keep it a buck. I mean, your honor is not that great to me. And I'm being kind to say he's not that great. I ain't never heard Twork complain about the hype your honor's getting. Gunpowder Pat is not that impressive. I never heard Twork go on a rampage about how unimpressive he is and how he doesn't deserve to be on the tournament. Let's call it what it is. But anyway, Twork asked for this. So finally it goes down. Now, when I do my recaps, I always put that disclaimer out there that when I watch it once, it's hard for me to absorb everything bar for bar, but I give you my breakdown off of one view. And I may even start doing recaps on a second watch because the second watch is more potent because I can sit down and, analyze it. But as soon as it started, Swamp right out the gate, going at Twork, a lot of direct stuff, a lot of direct hits. It was a very good round, and it was personal. So it's hard to be personal. Twork came in. Twork had some. Twork, I have to watch his. I don't really have to watch Swamp's first again, but I gotta watch Twork's first again. It felt good according to the crowd. But then again, it was hard to tell because I know the crowd was rooting for Twork. And even Twork just has that thing about him where even sometimes when the punch ain't good, you just go with it because he's got that crazy way of building it up. And he knows how to sell it. And nothing's wrong with that. But sometimes with Twork, his stuff is really hitting. And other times he just sells it. And sometimes you can see the lack of preparation. You can kind of low-key see and understand why he writes his stuff last minute because a lot of the setups are rushed. It's just like a premise to get to the punch. Whereas you guys like Chilla Jones, Loaded Lux, those guys, everything usually leads up to the punch. But Twork's round wasn't bad. But if I had to give it to somebody, I think I would go Swamp because as a body of work, I felt it was better. Now, Swamp's second was more of the same, more directness. It was a good round, solid round. Now, Twork's second wasn't bad, but what brought about the deciding, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. I was going to say Twork choked, but even if he did choke, he played it off well because he made it seem like you thought I was going to choke, but yeah, I thought you was going to choke. And I think you was going to choke. But nevertheless, he wiggled his way out of a sack on that one. His second round was decent. I think that was a tough one. That one is, I feel like that's one I have to really rewatch again. But if I was forced, I would go with Swamp for the simple fact that his second round was clean. And even though Twork wiggled his way out of a choke, he had some that was an unsteady moment, nevertheless. Now we go to the third. Swamp still on the attack, telling Twork, you got the potential to be great. You went at the Goonies, Glue Easy, drugs, all them boys. So it was a good round, but it was a beatable round. So at this point, you might as well say the battle's up in the air. Twork comes out, classic Twork. I don't think Twork spit like 3 bars. He just went blank. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy when you're embarrassed and you don't know the person? I felt like saying, yo, Twork, pack it in, bro. It's over. Pack it in. It's over. Finally, after it seemed like maybe he only choked for like a minute 30, but it seemed like 10 minutes. It was like, yo, Twork, this is not a good look, man. Just shut it down. So I got Swamp winning at least 2 rounds, at least 2. I got to watch the second. I'll watch it again when it drops on the app. But Swamp did what Swamp came to do. I was hard on the young man, but I got to give him his props. There's always room for improvement. But then again, there's room for improvement for John and Don. There's room for improvement for T-Top. There's room for improvement for me. So I'm not going to necessarily sit here and say, well, if he goes against T-Top and he does what he does, I'm not going to say that. Because who's to say he may not step up to the plate against T-Top? That's just what I'm saying. But for now, Swamp is here, and he's made his claim to fame. That's all I can say. Twork is Twork. Twork is like that dude that plays in the NFL that's on drugs. He give you a real good game, 15 receptions, 180 yards. Then the next game, he don't even show up. He's somewhere in a hotel laid out with 2 chicks. It is what it is with Twork. I don't think Twork really has a process. Even when you look at his battles where he hits hard, I'm convinced it's not a process. I think Twork just does what he does, and sometimes it's fortunate that it comes out good. It's like when you put something together and you don't read the instructions, sometimes you get lucky and you put it together. But if you never read the instructions, it's never going to be consistent if you try to put it together, because you don't remember how you put it together. You just got lucky. And that's the curse of not having a regular format. When you see guys like John and Don who have a format, that's why you notice the battles are consistent. The productivity is consistent. But when you do something in an erratic fashion, you get New Jersey Twork. Twork is a young man, but he's blessed. And I hope that he can realize that he's blessed to be in the position that he's in. Hey man, you're getting paid to do something. Well, I'm assuming you love to do it. Maybe you don't love to do it. Maybe that's it. Maybe Twork was meant to be a painter or a mechanic, because he sure don't seem like he loved to do this. There's a lot of people, working a 9-to-5 that would love to be New Jersey Twork. But that's neither here nor there. Swamp 2-1. And Twork, I was going to toast to you, but we're not going to do that. So give me back my glass. Matter of fact, give me back my ice, because I'm going to use that to pour a drink for Swamp. How about that? Swamp was too much for the mighty New Jersey Twork. Or at least that's what they say over there in the URL. But in the meantime, peace, love, and whatever else you think of love.